So once again, welcome to week one of web design, web and social media design, the internet. It's really what it's all based on, isn't it? I will try to make this one a little shorter because I usually only have one video a week and I'm having you sit through two. So let's get started. What makes a good website? Okay, there's a lot of things that make up a good website, but the things that are most important in my world are credibility, that has to be honest and real. Original's great too, and it has to involve timely and valuable information. I say timely because, especially if we're talking like blogging, if your blog, the last time you posted on a blog was 2012, nobody's really interested anymore. So they will just go right by. It needs to have simple navigation. You have to be able to get from one point to another or back to the home page in a very simple manner. Of course, it should be responsive. There should be a clear message and purpose for the site. It should be interactive. Look at that big red number 8 there. Interactive. People should be able to leave messages. They should be able to click around in it. The more interactive, the better. Well organized is really important as well. And all these other things are too. And it has to be mobile friendly, as you're all very aware. So let's look at a couple of really bad sites. I won't go to all of these because you could go to them on your own because I actually put the PowerPoint up for you. So let's take a quick look at this one website here, which I consider a really bad website. Even its title, look at it, it's msy.com.au, which means it's probably Australian, but oh gosh, here it comes. This is not pretty. There's just stuff everywhere, isn't there? Yikes. Okay, where do we go first? Don't know what to do. Okay, is there a menu bar? Is there some place where we... Oh, now it's moving. Okay. So as you can see, this is just like not good. There's just too much going on here. You have to come all the way down here just to see where you might go. And these look like they're all links. I'm afraid to click on them though. So there's one. Let's go to one more and try that one in the UK. Should have tried the Liberty Van Lines. They're probably American. I don't know if I can get to the next one. Let's see. While it's opening, I'll close that one. Oh, this is a hotel. These poor people. This is a really sad website for a hotel. Look, it's not even. You actually have to use the little scroll bar thing here just to show the pictures. So then when you do scroll over to see the pictures, now you've lost the menu, which is over here. So you could see this is just not well put together. And as easy as it is to put a website together these days, which you'll find out, this is just a really poorly organized, very amateurish way to do it. Okay, let's go back to what we're talking about. So you get the idea there. Now let's look at, we'll just pick one good website. I'm going to go to this one right here. Oh, I can't go to that one. Let's see, let's try this one. I'm trying to do too much with my computer at once here, I think. So let's see what we get from Travel Inspiration. I chose this as one of the ones I really like looking at. It may take a little time to come up because I believe there's a lot of pictures. Because as we all know, everyone loves pictures, especially nice ones, especially if there's a dog in one. So, this website is about giving. It's about donating. And to all these different people in these different parts of the country. But look at these beautiful pictures. I mean, they're kind of sad pictures, and it shows how these people need help, but they're just really stunning pictures. And then you click here to go to each of these people. So isn't that nicely put together? So easy to look at. Oops, lucky they weren't naked. Anyway, so this is a website that I would consider aesthetically pleasing, something I like looking at. Let's move on. So what is the internet? Where did it come from? Why do we have all this stuff? You guys only know the internet, but it was actually developed in 1962, happens to be the year I was born, by a gentleman named Licklider. Yeah, believe it or not. And he was at MIT, and he was working on these sets of computers that could interconnect. And he got a grant to start the Defense Advanced Research Project agency called DARPA. And DARPA was part of the U.S. Defense Department. And by 1966, DARPA had developed a set of networked computers that they called ARPANET. And ARPANET was just mostly military and professors, maybe 6 of them around the country, that could actually talk to each other in a medieval sort of fashion on the internet. ARPANET is what the beginning of the internet was. In 1969, there were just 4 computers that were connected. I said 6, didn't I? 4 computers that were connected, and that was pretty much it until the 1970s. In 85, it was becoming well established as a support for like major researchers and developers. And in 1991, there's your asterisk. See that asterisk right there? That means that's on a test. Remember that. His name is Tim Berners-Lee, and he created the World Wide Web. He created the language that we use on the internet so we can all talk to each other. And not the English language, it's the HTML language, and that's what you're going to be learning. It's a specific language that is used by every computer in the world. It doesn't matter what language those people speak, so that all computers can talk to each other. Here's a little video of Tim Berners-Lee that you can look at on your own. It's a TED Talk, and it's really fascinating. He's a really interesting guy, and he likes the whole idea of interaction and linked data. They're the keys to web advancement, meaning everything should be linked together in some way. So here's some definitions. Browser. What's a browser? Software application for retrieving, representing, and traversing information on the World Wide Web. So it's the little thing up top, right, that you put the URL in. What's the URL? Uniform Resource Identifier. This is the string of characters that make up the name www.johnsmith.com. That's your URL that goes into the browser. What's your server? Are computer programs running to serve the requests of other programs called clients? So the servers are the big guys. The clients are you. Any kind of computer is called the client. So the servers are the big ones that sit outside that help run all the other ones in that area. HTML is the language. It's called Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the standard language for all web pages. See, there's some asterisks on these pages. You're going to need to know these definitions. CSS makes it pretty. That's all you need to know about CSS. It's called Cascading Style Sheets, and it makes the page pretty. Where the Hypertext Markup Language writes out the words, the CSS makes them look nice. Tags. An HTML tag is a code that describes how a web page is formatted. That's what we're going to be working on at first, just understanding tags. They have these little side things, side V's I call them. And then that's an open tag, the V open, the V closed, and then the closed tag has the little slanted line in the middle of it, if you will. Elements give structure to the HTML document and tell the browser how you want it to be presented, how do you want it to look. And the semantic web is an extension of the World Wide Web that enables people to share content beyond boundaries of applications and websites. And we'll get more into that a little later. So clients, ooh, that's blurry. I'm sorry about that, but these are all clients, just for your knowledge. And look, there's the server, goes through the internet to the client. I don't know why these are so blurry. What the heck happened? They looked fine earlier. So the internet is a massive network of networks. It connects to millions of computers globally, forming a network in which any computer can communicate with another computer as long as they are both connected to the internet. The World Wide Web is a way of accessing information. So there's a difference there. The internet's the network. The World Wide Web is the way we access the information, and it webs it all together. A framework is about functionality. It's how we set things up to look right. And a mock-up is similar, but it's the realistic interpretation of it. So a framework is kind of like drawing little pictures of how, by hand, how you want the website to look. Oh, I want the title up here, and I want to, you know, all the different characters or a set of pictures down the left side, however you want it done. A mock-up would be really what it looked like. Like you would go into a Word document and then pop in those pictures and create that title. Your domain name is whatever it identifies your website, www.johnsmith.com, whatever you want to call it, as long as it's available, and you have to purchase it, by the way. And that's why we use Bitly, which I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about before, and I'll tell you more about later, but Bitly's free, domain names are not. Widgets are various components that can be added to a site without writing code. You will like widgets. Widgets are fun when we're working in Dreamweaver because you don't have to write the code for it. It's all written for you like a little package. And you just throw in what you want in there and it does the work for you. And then WYSIWYG is what you see is what you get. It's pronounced WYSIWYG, and it refers to the HTML that displays text and images as they will appear on your site with their style and colors. And now style and colors comes from that CSS I mentioned, that cascading style sheet that makes things pretty. Using WYSIWYG editors removes much of the needed work for knowing code. We love that because most people don't like code. You can get a little addicted to code, which some of you probably will doing this, but Dreamweaver is a WYSIWYG. You'll see when we open it that it helps you tremendously work through the HTML language. So those were just a bunch of definitions, just so that when you hear them again, they're inside your head a little bit. I know you'll probably have to go back and look at them, like if there's a test. But we talked about what makes a good website, right? We talked about all these things that we started this video with. And now your assignment. Okay, your assignment this week is going to be to share your favorite website and why it is. So I want you to look around the web and find a website you think is really, really fabulous. And if you want to, you can find one that's really bad too. If you want to do a compare and contrast, I'm all for that. But you will be presenting this to me in one of two ways, like we spoke about, either in a 2-page format with screenshots telling us why you like it or why you hate it, or a 2-minute video cast, which, you know, is much more fun. And you can, we really want you to show the good. If you're going to show a bad one, that's just an add to this project. But I really want you to show me a good website and tell me why it is, what it is you liked about it, and what were those things, some of these components right here, did it capture that made you really care about it? And maybe open it on a computer and open it mobile friendly and take a screenshot, see how different it looks maybe. You know, play around with it and see what you come up with, because it's a really fun project to do. And if there's time and I get some that I really like, I will share them with everyone. So that's it for this week. I know I've talked to you a lot and enjoyed this process. Next week we will get into writing a little code.